We're on the road. We're on the front lines here at our new Cannabis Culture location on Beatty Street in Vancouver, a Cannabis Culture dispensary location. So this is on the show today. We haven't announced it yet. This is the announcement right here, grand opening. Hi, Jody. Tell us about what we're doing.
We're sitting on a couch.
A little more detail than that.
A little more detail. Okay. All right.
We're on the road.
Cannabis Culture.
On the road. We're on the front lines here.
Open up places similar to, coffee shops in Amsterdam or any sort of safe access point for accessible access to medicine and cannabis. And so we've made some great discussions with someone who is helping us to open up a few locations. And the first location is today at this spot here on Beatty Street. It's about a 2-minute walk from our headquarters. The address is 512 Beatty Street. It's right by the SkyTrain, Stadium SkyTrain, so right down the street. Like I said, it's 2-minute walk to our store. It's actually been operating and serving the needs of people in the community for a while now, but it is being rebranded as a Cannabis Culture location. Yeah. So this is the first day. It's moved very quickly. You can't see it, but maybe, I don't know if we can pan the camera. Because we've had some work today where we're scraping off many pieces of a former logo on the window. Many little pieces. Yeah, we got down there scraping. So this is intense work. That part at least. Everything else is, there's a lot of hard work. And this is very exciting to announce that on the very same day that the city of Vancouver is threatening to close down dispensaries, we are opening our very first Cannabis Culture dispensary. So this is what we're doing here. This is why we're here. And it's very exciting. And I'm very grateful to everybody who's made it possible. So if you start coming down to 512 Beatty Street, you will find the Cannabis Culture cannabis location. And yeah, bring your ID. Bring some ID. And we will see you here.
Yeah, so it is very exciting. So again, it's not just this one location. This is a few locations we're opening. 4 of them total, new ones. 1 here, 1 in Port Coquitlam. So there's a place in Port Coquitlam called Tri-Cities that opened and was threatened by the cops. They came and took some of their stuff, closed down. So we're going to be taking over that location as well. So we're not sure exactly how that's going to work yet and how the battle is going to happen out in Port Coquitlam, but we're willing to, go toe-to-toe with some of these authority figures in certain ways, and we think it's time to really bring it to the next level and not back down. And today they've threatened to start closing people down. There's even the rumors that they're going to be sending the VPD with the bylaw officers to seize people's stuff, but we're not sure if that's going to happen. We're just going to have to see what happens. Neil and Jody were both at the protest this morning. We had a protest at City Hall put on by the World Cannabis guys. There was a bunch of people there. We have Reg from Budzilla in the house. He's going to come talk about what's been going on with him at Budzilla here in the city. And he's been making a bunch of social media posts really calling the city out and really talking about how it's completely unfair that he's being targeted and others. He was targeted because of his edibles. They went after him for a lot of edibles that he had, which he was selling the majority of. I think he had a sign out front that got their attention, and there was some neighbors involved. So a lot of this city attacks in the past have been based on neighborhood complaints and things like that, and it's not really fair the way it's done. Some people get complained about, then they get shut down, but other people are allowed to stay open. We have the Board of Variance that's allowing some people to open close to schools when other dispensaries are being shut down for the very same thing, and we even have members of the Board of Variance members themselves saying this doesn't make any sense to us. So there's a lot going on here. I have a video I want to watch from today's protest of both Neil and Jody speaking, and our man J-Mac also gave a bit of a great speech and performance as well. So we're going to throw this little protest video on, and we'll be back after that.
The populace for all the things that he's doing to harm harmless people in this city. These are public servants. They have no business implying regulations or imposing regulations on places that are not harming the public. Regulations are designed to protect the public health and safety. There is no health and safety risks from cannabis dispensaries, certainly not anything compared to alcohol dispensaries, and they're clustered all over this city. We at least want equal standing with alcohol dispensaries, recreational alcohol compared to medical cannabis. Kerry Jang is a doctor. Is he going to hang his reputation on deciding that his regulations need to be more harsh on the dispensers of medical cannabis than on those of alcohol? All he needs to do is look at the statistics in this city and in this province to see which of those substances needs regulation and which of those substances do not.
Yeah.
Where's Kerry Jang? Where's Kerry Jang? We need him out here. This is an important day for him. He's got some answering to do.
Has Kerry Jang ever been to a dispensary?
No.
Has Kerry Jang ever met the patients?
No.
Has Kerry Jang ever bothered to come speak to those?
No.
No. We need justice and equality. We need to be treated fairly. There's no reason and no justification for shutting down businesses that the public support, that the patients support, that the people demand they have access to. These regulations are unjust, discriminatory, and must be tossed out. Allow these dispensaries to operate peacefully as they've done so for years.
Yeah.
Where are the victims? I see no victims.
City Hall wants to put 120 people out of work immediately.
One thing. Because of weed, I can now do this. I can now.
That's cannabis medicine. It helps people. It doesn't hurt people.
Why should he have to go farther to get his medicine? That's not helping him.
I live in Surrey.
Needing access.
I live
These
in
are public
Surrey,
servants in a free
Columbia,
country.
and there is no dispensary in Surrey, British Columbia. I live in Surrey. I want weed dispensary in Surrey because I like traveling to Vancouver every day to get weed, but I have to, and I do. Why did weed help me? Can you not see this world? I'm now in my chair walking. Why did weed help me? Thank you, and good night. I'm J-Mac.
Yeah, J-Mac.
Love you, Jeff. Love you, Jeff. Thank you.
Nice, Neil.
This is why we're here today, and the public support dispensaries. The city is doing harm when they shut down dispensaries.
This is supposed to be a complaints-based organization here. We had public hearings where a couple hundred people spoke in favor of dispensaries, even in favor of regulations as long as they're reasonable. But only a handful spoke against the dispensaries, and their logic was not even reasonable compared with the problems we have with the alcohol dispensaries. So we're here to complain to City Hall and Kerry Jang. We're here to complain, and we need him to listen to us. We are citizens of this city, and we are outraged at what they are doing here in trying to put all of these people out of work, deny access to patients, support organized crime, support commercial crops for licensed producers. A money grab against patients is what's going on here. $30,000 for a license to sell cannabis will be passed on to the patients. This needs to stop today. They need to pull back their regulations and stop what they're doing, or Kerry Jang needs to be arrested for what he's trying to do here and how he's scaring people and harming people.
They didn't listen to us at the public forum. They didn't hear us. Everybody spoke this message already. Yelling. They sat there, they told their stories, they changed nothing. Nothing. And here we are now.
How can a doctor think that the regulations for medical dispensaries should be harsher than those for recreational alcohol dispensaries? How can Kerry Jang justify that? I believe he needs to be ousted from his job for that stance. He's supposed to be a doctor. He's supposed to represent citizens. I've been complaining to him. Many people have been complaining to him. Why aren't those complaints being taken to heart? Why are they being ignored? Who is he in bed with? What is it, the pharmaceutical companies that he's representing? Is it the corporate producers of marijuana that he's producing? It is certainly not the patients of Vancouver.
The Board of Variance admitted that the regulations are arbitrary. Some dispensaries are allowed to operate across from schools, while others are not. This is inequality and unfairness, and there's no justification for these unfair rules being put upon businesses that are only helping the public operate by supply and demand and have the support of the majority of Vancouverites and Canadians when asked by polls. We have no justification for closing dispensaries, and any sort of enforcement is prejudiced, discriminatory, unjust enforcement that will be responded to in the courts if necessary.
Yeah.
The courts will protect us for sure.
The large producer monopoly cannabis is terrible.
It's harming patients.
Shouldn't be forced to be used by patients in this
Can't
country.
trust government
They deserve a choice to be able to go in and talk to a bud tender and see their cannabis face to face.
Fair market, free.
Safe inhalation sites should be mandatory. Every dispensary should have to have a safe inhalation site. Vapor lounges should be mandatory in these places.
Yeah, I want one in Surrey.
Hopefully the cops are here to arrest every day.
Not less.
Vancouver City Hall loves Amsterdam bike lanes. Why don't we have Amsterdam coffee shops?
Yeah! Why can't I get
Discrimination.
a brownie?
Coffee shops are more dangerous than cannabis dispensaries.
Restaurant. Why can't I go to a lounge and smoke?
Hello, we're back, and it's almost 4:20. Jody just said. I was Facebooking right now, but maybe Alyssa can Facebook and tweet for me. Just finish those up for me. Just put in the www.podtv on all of them, and it's good. So yeah, that was great down at City Hall. Now it's still going on. Neil says. Neil, tell us about the plans for still going on and etc.
Please. Hey, that was a great protest today. We had a lot of good people out there, and we really articulated what our points were. And it's still going on right now. I just left there about maybe 25 minutes ago. Still a really good crowd there, and they're coming back on Monday and every day next week. So if you get a chance, come on down and support. I mean, we really need people there. And it's not just coming down in front of City Hall and protesting with signs. We want people to go into City Hall. We want them to lodge formal complaints in there, because that's what the city says they pay attention to. So that's what's going on. And then we're going to culminate the whole thing on Saturday with the Global Marijuana March, starting at the Art Gallery and heading to City Hall again. So that's what's happening there.
Yeah, I think that's a good route to take, to go from the Art Gallery over the bridge to City Hall.
Yeah, it'd be a nice walk. Maybe a slight bit farther than to English Bay, but not much, and a nice trip over the bridge. It should be good. I mean, nobody's going to be there at City Hall, but we can still make a good stance there, and we can make our points again. And our points are that these regulations that they're trying to impose that are going to shut down a bunch of dispensaries are overbroad and unjustified. There's no harm being done by any of these dispensaries. Why would they be being harmed by City Hall? We've got happy 420, everybody. Cool. Yeah, we got alcohol dispensaries all over this city. They're clustered in groups.
Cigarette dispensaries where the candy sold to kids.
That's it. I mean, you can buy alcohol in all kinds of different places. And for Carrie Jang, as a counselor and a doctor, to be saying that cannabis should be regulated harsher than alcohol dispensaries, I mean, what world is he from? I mean, this is not 1930s. We all know that cannabis is not the reefer madness substance that they said it was. In fact, it's quite the opposite. If you're going to tell a lie, tell a big one, and they did. So this benign, harmless, non-lethal substance that's so helpful to so many people, our city wants to regulate out of existence over 100 of the dispensaries that are being supported by the communities. They exist because they make a good living there, and they're happy to be helping people, and the community supports these places. So I think that the city's way out of line. They brought these regulations in when Harper was still in government. Now Trudeau's in government. It's a whole different atmosphere. This is 2016. What is the Vancouver City Council doing with all these backwards regulations?
And we have to start questioning all these governments that say they're progressive and for the people, when actually they seem to be about a lot of control. Oh, look, I just saw a customer come up and go, what the fuck? Yeah, her eyes are going wide and she's terrified. What the? Oh, and now she looks relieved. Oh, good. Oh, phew. All right. Oh, a big hug. And she's even hugging him. This is so sweet. I wish you guys could see this. Can we turn the camera there? All right. Let's look at the window. So for anyone who's jumped on board If anybody's jumped into Pot TV right now, we are broadcasting live at 512 Beatty Street, where Cannabis Culture, and move it up a little bit, Cannabis Culture is going to be taking over the branding of this dispensary here in Vancouver, just steps away. And it looks like there's a fire outside, but it's actually just somebody's giant toke, I think. That's a giant toke. A big bong rip. Oh, boy. Oh, golly. Poor. Yeah, maybe you remember the guy upstairs is not so thrilled. Like, there are, as we move forward with progress in this movement, we also have to remember we don't want to offend anybody. So this is not a smoking venue. This is not a place to come consume. You only have to walk 120 seconds of your time, 2 minutes, to go to Cannabis Culture Lounge right over there, like right around the corner. You go right, left, and you're there. It's like not even full blocks. This is a weird little angle. It's not even like a few blocks away. This is like...
the park from here almost. Right there.
Yeah, it's like 300 meters probably, about,
That's great.
distancing rules. But yeah, so Mark's texting because right now Mark Emery is in Toronto. He's at the Hotbox Cafe, where they've been doing incredible work fighting against the Ontario provincial government's efforts to shut down all their vapor lounges and vaporizer shops, bong shops, head shops. Anywhere you can get a vaporizer, they need to be hidden away. There's all sorts of terrible rules going on. So the Cannabis Association, or the Cannabis Friendly Business Association, is something Abby Roach at Hotbox Cafe created to help all these companies band together. So Mark's just sending me some photos of all of them hanging out there. He's been going to a few different venues in Toronto, so you can go to Mark Emery's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and you can find out more about him. Dana, someone asked, where is Dana? Dana is in Australia at the Nimbin Hemp Cannabis Festival. So Dana's been doing incredible work as well, and he'll be back soon, I'm sure, to continue the Overgrow tour. Now, somebody else said, quote, taking over the branding. So basically, this location has been operating for a while. And when the city of Vancouver said that it was okay, it was good to go, it was in a safe location, it wouldn't be shut down, somebody who's an investor decided to get into this location and other ones as well, not in Vancouver. It's a franchise. But then the city government said, oh, wait, we're going to draw you into the map where you're not allowed. So this location actually has a Board of Variance hearing in a couple months. But in the meantime, it continues to operate serving patients and doing business as usual. But because Cannabis Culture is very proud to have been a long, long time original pioneer, quite truly, in the marijuana movement. I mean, we're going back when there were no head shops, there was no vaporizers, there was no serious money in the movement. And Mark Emery started in 1994, 2 minutes that way. And, Cannabis Culture is a brand of integrity and of passion and activism. It's an activist-owned business. And so we've always wanted the opportunity, as we've said many times on Pot TV, I'm sure, we've always wanted to expand. We've wanted to be able to provide more to the community and to the world. And, we used to be the big players in town, and now we're just a little head shop and a vapor lounge, and it's hard to finance activism or to do anything substantial when we're struggling to get by on just that. And everybody else in the industry is doing wonderful things, creating jobs and economic opportunity and supporting great causes with their dispensaries. And there's nothing wrong with using this plant and our people to create funds to help our movement and to help the fight for freedom. So when we had this opportunity to go into business and basically just... the deal is we get a cut from the sales because we're sending people here, and we want to send people to get quality medicine and quality cannabis. And I believe that people who aren't sick have equal access rights and should have equal access to cannabis. I mean, I don't know if I'm sick or not. Maybe I'll be sick in the future, or maybe I can prevent that with therapeutic cannabis use. So I believe all adults should have access to cannabis, and eventually we're going to have to see Amsterdam-style coffee shops where you can access cannabis, you can get it, you can consume it. That's the dream, that's the end goal, and I've been saying it for a while on Pot TV, I think.
The end goal is freedom, Jody.
Well, of course, I'm talking about the end goal for the brand Cannabis Culture, though, the business, right? The end. This company is about freedom. This company is about creating these safe spaces, and that's why Mark is in Ontario. I guess somebody's asking about him. No, he's not. Sorry. Only Toronto. We've been busier. I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks have been the most busy 3 weeks in my life. But But
Media attention.
yeah, a lot of media, nonstop, every single day. I think the day before yesterday I didn't do interviews. Maybe yesterday was like, yeah, I know, right? But honestly, it's oversaturation. They're sick and tired of hearing from us. But we get stopped all the time. Oh, and I do have a letter in the province too. So
Defending our garbage.
just defending our cleanup of the 420 garbage. So anyway, this is the deal. We are branding a number of different businesses that say Cannabis Culture because it's going to carry on the message of our business, the message of our movement, and that's always been the core purpose. In Cannabis Culture, everybody knows that we are here for the real deal. We're not here to rip people off or cash in or anything like that. And if we are cashing in, it's using Mark Emery's seed model, where he used seed money to fund the movement and the legal battles and the tours and the conferences and the information sessions. We need the weed to fund this now. We're going from selling seeds to fund activism to selling weed to fund activism, and that's really, really, really important. And I can't miss this opportunity to work with great people. So the healing tree here, and I see some what look to be maybe labels to put up on the windows, some signage perhaps that we're gonna have. So this is very exciting, and it's a great opportunity. And I really hope you in Vancouver, if you're watching, you will plan a trip down to 512 Beatty Street, right around the corner from our Cannabis Culture headquarters, right across from the park and the parkade, right by Stadium SkyTrain Station, underneath the Sun Tower, the big green dome. So, easy to find us and to support us so we can keep doing a whole lot more for the movement.
And when Jody was saying about, taking over the branding, that's a big part of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be branding and promoting what's here, but we're also going to be making sure that what's here is up to our standards of quality control. So Jody and I are taking part directly in the operations of things here on the floor so that it does have that quality. And, we're working with people who obviously have that in mind as well, so we all have the same attitude and opinion about it. But you can bet that when you come down here, there's going to be really great stuff here. And in fact, we've already got strains down here from some of our favorite growers like Temple of Calyx and others. So you got to come down and check it out. We'll probably go downstairs in a little bit after we play some more videos and stuff and check out some of the actual supply of what we've got in. We're just getting started. We're only like 2 hours in. Yeah. So we don't really have too much at the moment. But we don't even have the sign up yet. But we did want to have a soft launch today on the show so we could show it off and bring people down here. So if you're in Vancouver,
again, the fact that the city is telling dispensaries to close down and we've been nonstop defending dispensaries in the news, this is significant to us.
Yeah, we wanted to do it on this day for that reason. We want to tell people and tell the city that we're not going away. These dispensaries are going to be here. They can shout and stomp their feet all they want, but they're not going to be able to get rid of us that easy. We've been here for how many years when it was illegal and the threat was prison and jail? I don't think we're just going to go away when the regulations are here. And, even if they are threatening people, we're going to stand up to them. So are we going to offer mail order? We're not. That is coming in the future. Not today. It's not starting today. But we'll see how that goes. We're going to have to look at that one step at a time right now. I wanted to play another video that I have. Or actually, what I wanted to play here, I wanted to bring Reg on the show. Now, Reg is the owner of Budzilla. Reg has been battling for 2 years now since he was closed down originally. He's outside now. Here, I'm going to pass. Well,
I'm going to go outside and start scraping some logos out, some of this stuff off the window. I don't know if you want to take a look, but they're actually using like the tiniest little razor blades to. There must be 100, at least, probably 200 little leaves there being scraped off the window. Quite a bit of tedious work. So I'm gonna go out there and help out because I don't just sit around. And we'll get Reg here. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, Pot TV. It's been awesome having you. Damn, of course they're smoking like crazy out front. That's what you do when you invite the most hardcore.
Yeah. Well, we gotta let the neighbors know we're here. How many Dalmatians are watching right now? 101. Perfect. 102.
Did you know that? You knew that somehow. Okay. Right on. And here comes some sign work, perhaps. Excellent.
Is this our sign guy, too?
Maybe. Come on.
Is red shirt guy the sign guy? Oh, turn the camera around at the sign here. Can you show that?
Ooh. Oh, my gosh. Purdy. Oh. Snapshot.
Yeah.
Sweet. That is super, super, super exciting. That's our sandwich board. This is so fun.
Yeah. Well, come on in, Reg. You're gonna sit where Jody was. She's gonna be doing some more scraping. So, and where'd Alyssa go to? Oh, there she is. And maybe the camera. Actually, we look pretty good. Maybe back a little more towards Reg, Alyssa. There. How you doing, man? Good to have you on the show, man. Especially on a day when there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
There's a lot of politics. It's getting pretty severe these days. It's scary even, but just like you guys, we're forging along.
I wanted to have you on because I'm really impressed with what you've been saying online on your social media accounts and just some of the what you've been putting out to the city. Can you tell us what you're saying?
Well, I've released a few challenges. One was towards the federal government for Bill Blair to retire or be resigned. Another one was Kerry Jang. I think he really needs to resign because he really has no idea what he's doing with this. To have to eliminate 90% of any business would be devastating in any community. So, he's way out of touch. This whole system that we've been put under is out of touch, and we really need to get back to negotiating. So that's some of the challenges I've issued. I'm also part of the Smoke Show, which is challenging licensed producer cannabis, making sure that it's kosher, copacetic, and that all their claims are proper. And we're just really pushing the envelope both with the dispensary and with the shows, and we're just trying to legalize the way we want it to be legalized, not the way the government wants it to be legalized.
Right, and we're seeing how the government wants legalization to happen here in the city of Vancouver, where we have a city council that's put forward a bunch of regulations that are very restrictive. $30,000 to get into the program. Then you have to be 300 meters away from a school or park. And really what they've done is set up a system that will eliminate over 90% of all the dispensaries in the city in its current state. And they're gleefully laughing about it. We have Kerry Jang, who is one of the city councilors who calls today the drop dead date for dispensaries. And he's laughing about it on the news when he's talking about it. And that's offensive to the patients who use these dispensaries. There's a reason that there's 150 damn dispensaries in the city, and that's because people need the medicine. And they wouldn't be open if they weren't supported. So the city seems to be doing their own thing against all of the data that they collected from their information sessions with all of us. But Reg, this is something that you've been dealing with for a while. You were targeted about 2 years ago. Tell us about what happened there. And you can grab the mic too.
Well, that's a long story. Budzilla has a sordid history with the city of Vancouver. We pride ourselves in, well, first of all, we're all veterans, so we're not too scared of too much. So we pride ourselves at being at the tip of the spear and trying to expose a lot of issues that just aren't fair. For example, the city, for us specifically with Budzilla, in 2014, September 2nd, we got raided. I was making cannabis cookies in the dispensary, and all of a sudden there's 30 cops at the door. You had the gang unit, organized crime, you had RCMP on VPD territory. Wow. Yeah. So shout out to Constable Holmquist from the RCMP.
Our case Holmquist, who got
yes,
the judge,
yes,
gave him a slap.
Exactly. And this guy, right? I'm in the interrogation room after we're in the raid, and he's like, "You're a drug dealer," and I'm like, "No." "You're a drug dealer." He's getting even more intense with it, and I'm like, "No, I'm not like hard rocking like the gold chains, and I've got paint on my jeans, bro. I'm not trying to put on a front, right? Like, this is not at all what we're doing here." Yeah, and back then, we only had half the unit, and since then we opened up the lounge, and we, it's 1,600 square feet, and it's a big fuck you to the city. And so, as you can see, I'm not shy about where we stand. I'm probably what would be considered one of the most vocal activists, just because there is a need, just like our dispensaries, right? And right now there's a lot of people suffering, and people need to get around to understanding why exactly people are suffering. And so we're just always trying to push the envelope and expose as much as we can.
So the case, 2 years. So the cops came in 2 years ago, did the whole thing. Where are we now with that? You're still waiting, aren't you?
We're not a step further, to be honest. This is 2 years later. Actually, a little bit more than 2 years now. 2 years and a month, and I still haven't seen my first trial date. I'm electing to be going into the Supreme Court of Canada for these indictable offenses. And I'll be hopefully tried by a jury of my peers, and then I know that in the Supreme Court of Canada it's a guaranteed win. So I'm not really too stressed out about this. Even with the city closures, after that raid, there was informal dispensary rules that they issued because there was such a backlash.
Right.
And so really it's power to the people. We can change things, right? And so it just, you got to be persistent and keep pushing. I've been accused of not being so professional, but I mean, I'm vocal. I'm an activist. I'm tired of the oppression that we've had to go through, really, and it's.
There was something about the lollipops. Was there something about lollipops?
So yes, I'm famous for the candy that I make, and in the paper, the reason I think, the majority of the people think, anyways, that there was such a massive backlash is because we had really sexy looking cookies and edibles such as candies, and they were trying to say that we were advertising towards children, which, you know, doesn't really make sense because, I mean,
Because the name's Budzilla, they thought Godzilla.
there's our logo, and then the fact that we have candies. But really, I mean, it's a delivery method, right? And part of the way that we choose to try and heal people is with a bit of humor. And so, you know, you're laughing, you're having fun, positive reactions to your medicine, right? It's not like what would you rather do? Eat a vitamin in a pill form or in a gummy? You know, it's just
Right. Of course.
so really.
Flintstones vitamins, man.
Yeah, right. So it wasn't in any way targeted towards children. This is, you know, what the city does, and also the VPD likes to do, is just trial by media, right? They think that people think nasty of you, and it just backfired on them. And that was a key piece of history in our cannabis culture that
Well, they
really.
just made you famous.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, reluctantly,
Yeah,
right?
That's true, though. And then, you know, and everybody knows you after that one. I mean, it just blew everything out of the water.
Yeah,
It's the opposite of what they want.
exactly. It was awesome,
Bring 'em
actually.
on.
Yeah,
You know, bring them
yeah.
down. We want to be in the papers. It's free
Exactly. The
advertising.
more fight we can bring, the more exposure we can get on this. You know, the further we get, because really that's how we win, is by educating people. We never force people. We're not trying to force our opinions on anybody.
Yeah,
You know, but we do need to be available with the education, right? And so.
for sure. Reg, if, say, I know you're standing up right now and you're not closing. If the cops show up and they start seizing stuff and they start doing things, what do you do?
Oh, that's easy. Actually, we've got a whole bunch of tactics that we have discussed within the community. So we have a low inventory. We're actually expecting to get arrested, right? This is a majority of why Budzilla is who we are, is that we're actually willing to take on, right, like those fights. And so if they come in with arrests, bring them on. We're gonna peacefully surrender. But I mean, again, that's an opportunity for us to be more exposed and give more education.
You just open right back up a
Oh yeah,
days later.
yeah. We've got 4 days pre-planned inventory, right? And so if they come in one day and raid us, we'll open hours after. We have staff and inventory ready for that. And then it just keeps going, right? And so we have contingency plans. We're not stopping. We'll take the fines. And again, we want the city to try to get an injunction and try to bring us to court, because really that's where we shine, right? So
Well, we really need a lawsuit. We need some sort of class action
Yeah.
or something.
There's-
Charter challenge.
there's a lot of talk about not letting this one go, folks, because really, think about it this way: what would our landscape look like if there was no dispensaries, right? Like, from going from 100 dispensaries to 10, 15, really, first of all, the demand's not going to be able to be met, and second of all, nobody's really closing. So I'm not too sure. I think that this is kind of a push to eliminate competition, and so people might be thinking, well, what competition? Well, this is where the licensed producer comes into play, and we're not sure exactly. I mean, this is borderline conspiracy theory there, but it's like, so you've got the licensed producer system being ushered in, and then you've got the major downfall of dispensaries all at the same time. It's kind of,
That's not a
one would
coincidence.
you're exactly right. One would suspect that.
Gregor and Trudeau have had some conversations. For
Absolutely, they have, right? And so,
I don't doubt
yeah, I mean, that's our little world and our little cannabis culture, and we're kicking ass and forgetting names every day.
Exactly, man. Well, good on you. I really appreciate having you on, man. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Seriously, man. And we'll keep watching. Obviously, if there's any trouble at all, we'll be there as soon as we can. You know, we have a couple of these dispensary phone tree things going on, and we have some ways of getting people out to actually get to the locations as quickly as possible. So, you know, social media helps.
We're, you know, like today we're at the city hall, and we're at 420. We're at these events just to show that, you know, we're not ashamed of what we're doing. We're actually really proud of what we're doing.
Well,
So yeah,
for sure.
yeah, and also real quick shameless plug. We've got the smoke show, which you guys are going to interview Freddie Pritchard. That's a show that's brought to you by Budzilla, and we do a 2-for-1 bud exchange so that MMAR or MMPR patients can. Well, MMPR patients bring in their samples from their licensed producers, and we get it tested, like I was mentioning earlier on. And
Talk about that.
so yeah, I mean the plot thickens, folks. So keep watching and keep supporting us. We need you. Now's the time, right? Like, be vocal, be loud, and be there for us, because we're there for you. You know.
The fight's just heating up right now, you know?
Indeed.
Like, we thought that legalization was going to mean that, hey, everything's done. No, the fight is just heating up. It's just starting. So now's the time when we actually see what legalization's going to mean. And if we don't stand up and fight for what we believe in, they're going to tromp all over it. They're just going to try and make it what they want. They're going to co-opt this movement like they have with every other movement. So, but that's not going to happen this time, because they can't take it away from us. We're too damn strong because of guys like you, man. Seriously. It's true, though, for real. Cool. Thanks, Reg. I really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to bring – where did Carly Marley go now? She just ducked out at the moment that I needed her. Where did she go? Yeah, find that Carly Marley. She's up next.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Reg. And you were at the meeting, too, weren't you, the other day? Were you at the –
I was. I'm a big proponent, right? So just a quick message to all the dispensaries: do not close your shops, okay? There's a plan, right? It's sound. We have backup teams. We have tactics. And if a few of us drop out, it's going to be a major issue. We really need to stay solid on this one, right? If anything, open up new shops, right? And so just stick together. Don't give up. And we're all in this together, united. And we're going to fight this. We're going to win. It's inevitable. It's just a matter of time, really, in my opinion.
I agree with you completely, man. Thanks a lot, Reg. Really appreciate it. Reg the man. Appreciate it. Budzilla. And what's the Budzilla website? Is you guys got...
Budzilla.ca.
Budzilla.ca. Check it out. And any other websites?
For now, no. But we have the smoke show on Facebook, right? And then but yeah, you guys will will have some fun with Friday. He's going to give you a lot more information on that.
Awesome. Thanks, Reg. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. All right. So, and they were talking about my shirt. Why am I not wearing a Pot TV shirt? I'm wearing an I Am Not a Criminal End Marijuana Prohibition shirt today from MPP. The folks at MPP. The marijuana. Oh, look, and there's some branding. Speaking of spamming, we have expert spam here. Craig, the man. So Craig is.
I just heard you talking shirts for a second.
I was talking shirt about you.
Most people do.
Yeah, I was talking some shirt. So expert, you're here in this little location here and taking quite an active role in this whole thing. You and I are gonna do a lot of work on this project. Tell people how you're involved.
Well, for the most part, as you guys have seen over the last 11 weeks, I've kind of invaded Cannabis Culture and Pot TV, and I'm doing a subtle takeover. So I'm giving you guys the scoop. They don't know yet, but No, it is great to be a part of the family, and I'm just trying to contribute is what I'm trying to do, basically. We've been lucky enough to have the opportunity to go ahead and take over a facility not too far from home, where we're going to go ahead and slap some Cannabis Culture branding on it and come do our little dog and pony show over here. And, Jer and I are help making it happen until we can, train the right people to make it continue to go along. It's a great opportunity for us to expand the Cannabis Culture brand, to fight back, to stand up for what is right and what we believe in. And we're thrilled to have the opportunity. And I'm just happy to be here helping out and making things happen, bringing some great weed to the shop, bringing some more attention to it. I'm going to spam the shit out of this place. It's a great thing to be a part of. We've got the window guys right here. We've got the new sign outside. You're going to see me starting to clean windows here in a second. We're multitasking because, hey, it's just got to get done. It's got to get done, and you got to host a show. So I'm going to let you get back to doing this.
We've already got some
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, do we ever? I bought We bought 7 or 8 things today alone. We just brought in the Master Kush. We've got the Super Silver Haze. We got a new Tuna. We've got a new Master Kush. We got the Muerte. We've got the El Jefe, and there was one other one that we've got. The LA Pure Kush from the Suge Knight Kush, from the Temple. So we got Temple of Calyx in the house here. We got a few other names that we'll be telling you the brands of shortly as well too. But we've got some new bombs in the house. We've got some maple. Was that maple fire? No, terp fire extraction.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Terp fire extracts is in the house now as well too. So we're stepping it up immediately from day one. We have straight fire downstairs already, and give us a few days or a week to kind of just let the dust settle for a second here and let us show you what we can really do. We are going to take all of our network and bring all the best pieces to you here.
We know a lot of growers.
We do. We know a few people. We actually know a couple people who smoke weed. Yeah, surprisingly enough. And so they're going to be here. They're going to be bringing their finest wares. We're going to have the whole spectrum from the patient-focused to the ultra high-end and everywhere in between. Some novelties, some exotics that you just never find elsewhere. This is going to be the spot. We're taking over. We're coming for you. And this isn't the only place we're going to do it. The rest of Canada, we're coming. We already got the sign out front.
Crosshairs next.
Yeah, we're coming. It's coming. Starting with 4. Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it, Jody. Do it. Keep going. There you go. Bam. Woohoo. Yeah, we got the graphics guys in the house. We got a full house in here.
You know, it looks great. Show off the room here, too.
So is anybody here looking to do some shopping? If you are, head on downstairs. If you're just here for the show, hi, welcome to the show. Welcome. You're all live on Pod TV.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, briefly and doing that, running around like mad. And you can watch Craig the Expert on Thursdays on Pod TV, 4:20 p.m. And speaking of other Pod TV hosts, you can watch Carly Marley, 4 o'clock Mondays. And here she is. Hi, Carly Marley. Hi. Woo! So Carly has been working mad on a bunch of stuff, too, and actually was at the protest this morning with us, filming some stuff that she's going to show off on her show on, that's the Monday show and what you're recording here. But you also were at our meeting last week. Tell people what went on there and what you got.
I thought it was really informative. I think it was a really great way for the community to kind of come together organized and decide that we were going to stand together as a united front. So I think it was really awesome to have all those people in the same room. I think there was some amazing speakers who had some really relevant points. One of my favorite parts was Jody. I didn't include it in the video, but Jody actually at one point gave a bunch of dispensary owners some really great keywords to use in interviews, and things like that are a really effective tool. So I think it was a really effective meeting. I think it was awesome. Yeah.
And really discuss the stuff on a more regular basis.
Agreed.
There's so much power in the dispensaries here in the city, and really just getting them together. I mean, Jody literally just put out a Facebook post and said, hey, we need to get together, and the response was huge, and all of the media were there. I mean, everybody. 5 or 6 media companies were there. So Carly got some great footage. I think we're going to play that, and then we'll come back and talk to you a little bit more about some of the other stuff you're working on. But let's play this. This is meeting footage by Carly Marley. Good editing.
It worries me a lot that the city of Vancouver is moving to shut down dispensaries because, as we all know, the regulations were not well thought out. They refused to take the recommendations after 3 or 4 days of endless testimony, and the rules are not being equally enforced even at the Board of Variance stage. We do have opponents, and they do have power, and many of our opponents are not happy with the way law reform and progress is being made. Our community has grown so much in such a wonderful way. As an activist, I don't want to see any of you close. I don't want to see any dispensaries close. I feel so passionately about this that we all know, and you all know even more than I do, the importance of the service you provide. You're providing a service by basic supply and demand with consenting transactions with adults and children with permission from their parents. There's no harm and there are no problems. There's nothing but an anti-marijuana bias still being levied against you. This is a discriminatory policy. These regulations are unjust and biased. If 150 businesses of any kind were shut down in this city, it would be a crisis. So the city is ignoring the fact that you employ people, you provide taxes and revenue, you provide a much needed service to many patients who cannot get the full federal authorization or who don't want to get federal authorization because they feel they should be free to self-medicate. The poll showed the majority of Canadians and Vancouver citizens want dispensaries and storefronts. We're going to be here to defend you guys no matter what happens. No harm. There are no victims. So there should be no crime and no punishment for what you do. People are looking to Vancouver to see what's going to happen. What kind of system of legalization are we going to have in this country? And I think we should demonstrate, obviously, Vancouver has that model.
Every raid is like every rally. It's like you're painting a picture together. You and the police are painting a picture together. And you get to collectively decide what picture you want to send out to the rest of the world in the mass media. And I thought it would be a terrible illustration of our dignity to be kind of with our hands in our pockets, looking around helpless and powerless when the police were raiding and taking all our stuff away. I thought it'd be a better idea to have a unified group of people who were beating on drums, holding signs, and coming up with intelligent things to chant in response to this sometimes getting in the way of the police even, with sofas and other furniture, assorted furniture, and showing resistance to the raid, showing the police that we're not going to make it easy for them.
Most people are in this because they see a need that's not being met, and they've decided to meet that need. And what they're doing is they're assisting people improving their quality of life. And if that's what you're doing, and that's why you're doing it, seems to me to be very unlikely that you're simply going to just shut down because the city's written you a letter. Even if the city hands you a ticket, you still have your full panoply of due process rights. You can dispute those tickets, and I encourage you, there are tight timelines for disputing, so be aware of that. But I would encourage you to immediately dispute those tickets. There are battlefields ahead upon which you can stake out your ground and attempt to defend yourself, and your right to continue to help patients improve their quality of life. I urge you to consider those very seriously. The city of Vancouver has for many years been a very progressive city on drug policy issues. The city of Vancouver was the first municipality in Canada to formally call for legalization, not just of cannabis, but really of all drugs. Larry Campbell came to when he was mayor of this city in 2004, came to a convention I put on for the BC Civil Liberties Association at the Lawson Center, and he stepped up and he said we should just legalize cannabis. First time a mayor of a major city in Canada had ever made that kind of statement. We have the support of the community, as we should. We are positive contributors to our local communities. This isn't just about keeping a business going. This is about a lifeline that's been extended to hundreds or thousands of critically and chronically ill Canadians that simply need ready access to medical cannabis. This movement is growing, it's building, it's only getting better.
So Dana, what are you going to do? You're not shutting down, right? Vancouver City said they were going to regulate dispensaries. Didn't really matter about the details. The fact was, across this country, people heard that means they're being legitimized. Strength in numbers and in unity, it's very important. But it's also very important to operate in little cells because they can't take you all down when you're all over the place.
You can choose to give the city a middle finger and walk away, or you can choose to give the city two informed middle fingers by understanding the process.
Clearly there's more work to be done ahead, and it's going to be a very busy few months. And we're just like the craft beer industry. If they went and shut down every craft brewery in town, you can imagine the outcry. So that's what we're here to keep providing. Imagine the strength that we have and what we can accomplish.
We're back. Thank you. That was great, Carly. Good clips of the footage, good editing. Now the full version of that meeting that we had at the dispensary is available on Pot TV. If you go to pot.tv, you can find that in its entirety. So Jody did a great job, I think, of putting everybody together, and Rob and other lawyers spoke. I'm not sure if I saw any clips of the other lawyer. I'm forgetting his name now, but he was fantastic, who has defended some of the people in front of the Board of Variance. No, not Rob Laurie, the other, I'm forgetting the gentleman's name, but.
There was a few other speakers who had some really amazing points, but I tried to take the most audible quotes for people. because not all the speakers you could hear quite as well as some of the others. So that was kind of the purpose of the video, was trying to grab it. So if people just want a quick idea of some of the things that were said. So unfortunately, not all of the speakers are in that video, but I tried to include a lot of relevant points and some of the speakers that were involved there. Dana had a lot of really great things to say and a lot of really great ideas, but unfortunately over the phone I wasn't able to get a lot of his quotes as well, and I would have loved to have been able to share a little bit more, but
we didn't have the mic.
Yeah,
board all
exactly.
Set up. We just kind of tried it with the cam mics, but
And we do have the full video there. You might just need to crank up the volume at a couple parts in the video, but I think it was a really effective meeting, and I think that there was a lot of really great ideas passed around, some ideas that I decided not to post on that shorter video, but I think there was some really good things getting bounced around the room, and strategies and ideas of what we can do to make sure that we're treated fairly through this regulation process.
how's the show going?
Good. I'm really enjoying it. There's been a lot more arts and culture involved. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be going down
420
tonight.
Lifestyle every
420
Friday
Lifestyle.
at 4, and now you've taken over for Opus. You're the or sorry, every Monday at 4. I don't know. Every something
the
at 4.
day.
There's something, yes. Mondays at 4, and so Opus passed the dab torch. This is going to be your third show coming up.
This is my third show
on the
hosting
show?
by myself. Well, I'm going to discuss a little bit more about the dispensaries and everything like that, since I did get some footage of the protest earlier that I'd really like to share with people. And I'm also going to be heading down to the Hip Hop Box night, which we will be broadcasting live, but I'll be trying to grab some of that footage for you guys, hopefully having Creed come down and talk about both himself and the other artists that are performing there. And I'm also going to be going down and doing some ganja yoga Saturday morning, so that should be fun. So
Yeah, that should be. And we do that every Saturday and Sunday at Cannabis Culture, Hastings.
I know it's Saturday. I'm not sure if it's, I would have to double check. Both days, yeah, Saturday and Sunday at Hastings. And I love yoga. I'm not normally much of a morning person, so I haven't tried the ganja yoga yet, but I always use marijuana as an exercise, pre-exercise tool. I love to get my cannabinoid system going before I work out. So, yeah. So I'm really excited to try out ganja yoga, and I know that's not something. There's a couple places starting to do it now in Vancouver, which is awesome. But whatever activity you can do, I think that it would be ideal if you could also do it with cannabis. So, for some people who don't have that option in their city, I think it would be kind of a cool thing to show off to them. So.
That's right. Yeah, you won't find ganja yoga in every city, so some people would probably be pretty jealous.
Yeah.
It's nice that we have a place like the Cannabis Culture Lounge where we can actually do that, where we get a bunch of people together to have these kinds of events, where we have hip-hop events, everything from hip-hop to yoga, and you can smoke while
all
it's
on the
happening,
same weekend.
So, yeah, and we want more of those all across Canada.
Yeah. So that's some of what's going on this week.
Well, thanks, Carly. That's great.
Thank you.
So yeah, you've been helping out with a lot of Pot TV stuff, and actually you have a bunch of great videos that you have on your show that we're clipping up and putting individually on Facebook. So watch for Carly Marley's awesome videos. She's a great video editor, and and before I let you go, you have one more job here at Cannabis Culture, and that's the manager of the Cannabis Culture online store. Can you tell people what's going on with the store? And at this moment, we're just trying to get our credit card processing dealt with, but give us a little store update.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciated people's, support and patience through us trying to deal with some of the prohibition companies that we've had to. But, we're really excited. I'm really excited about how it's really, things are starting to grow, and really things are starting to, it's
catalog pages.
it's really starting to build. And I'm talking with a lot of artists this week. My next goal is to add a lot more heady glass on there, a lot more one-of-a-kind pieces, and bring a lot more of that really high-quality art that isn't accessible at your average corner store head shop that we have access to because we're lucky enough to be located where some of the best artists live. So I'm really excited about being able to bring some of that to people. When people order things in the middle of nowhere and you can tell there's no head shops or anywhere they can get papers or a bong nearby, those are some of the most gratifying orders to see, and to think about the potential of being able to bring those people some really high quality pieces of glass, some really great delivery systems for their medication, and just beautiful art that they can display in their home too. It's really exciting to me, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Yay, Carly. You're doing a great job of all of this stuff. So tune in on Mondays at 4 to see Carly, more Carly, at any of our many locations. Pot.tv is the place for all of that. And you can find her other videos and stuff up on Facebook and other places soon. Thanks, Carly Marley.
Thank you.
So next on the show, we have the chatters have been asking about him over and over. We should maybe we'll put that in. We're drinking a little bit of beer here today because we are celebrating. It is the grand opening or whatever, and so we had a few. That's all right, isn't it? It's not verboten, is it? Yeah. Some people don't like us drinking beer on Pod TV. They think it's promoting a substance that probably doesn't deserve to be promoted any more than it already is. But since I have Trav standing right here, and I don't see the Weed King around here yet, Freddie, maybe we'll leave Freddie to be our final guest. And my man Trav and Maddie, was it? Travis and Maddie. So here, Alyssa, do you mind moving the cam over a little towards these two? Just so we balance it out a little bit. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. The sunlight is so bright out there. It's coming through the window. Yeah, it's all right, though. You guys look like you're glowing angelically. So, Trav, who is a former employee of Cannabis Culture, longtime homie, you working on a new project here, brought us some cool stuff yesterday. Maybe I'll let you two explain what it is and show it off.
For sure. We've been working on a couple of new projects. I've been working with Stoner Monkey Extractions, and we've teamed up with Maddie and another lovely lady named Jasmine, and we're now also doing the Vegan Edibles Co., which is all vegan and organic edibles made with Stoner Monkey Extraction shatter. We really hate that the Supreme Court said that we can have edibles, and then the city arbitrarily said we can't. So we want all the dispensaries to still challenge all of this. We don't want you guys to close. We're going to North Van and the island where they still allow edibles, and we're going to get them in as many shops as we can. Anyone in the city that's willing to carry them or wants high quality, beautiful edibles, let's get it back into people's hands. It's the #1 consumed thing in Colorado and Washington in the legal states. It's the easiest way for people to get their medicine, and we're really excited about it. Maddie, you want to tell us a little bit about everything else you guys do?
Yeah. So basically it started really easy. Like a couple of friends of mine and I, we were vegan and we were looking for edibles in the city and there weren't many options. And so we decided to supply one and start one up to make it even more accessible for everybody. So people with dietary restrictions, gluten-free, people who just want the organic stuff, we can do it all. And we just really wanted to reach a whole nother group of people that should really enjoy this and be, a part of this and getting their medication. We wanted to make it accessible for people who might have those dietary restrictions and might not be completely familiar with anything. Edibles are so fun and for your taste buds and for your eyes. And, we just wanted to make something pretty and nice that people could have. And I don't know, enjoy.
Great job you guys did. Now, I haven't tried any of them myself. I'm kind of when it comes to edibles, they really mess me up. I tend to fall asleep quite quickly after taking them, my eyes close, and I'm completely incapacitated. So I try and stay away from them too much. But if I'm, in pain or I'm feeling something, like if I had Jody's got an update. Okay.
Just news from the Davie Street location is that the fire department just came by for an inspection, but everything is in order and they had no issues. Eden had some expired extinguishers, but they got a warning for it and no ticket. And this goes in line with what Kirk said. And I actually just saw a post about the VPD policies. They said, listen, the rules are simple. Just don't sell to kids, don't have any fire hazards, and don't demonstrate that you're strictly motivated by financial gain and be more focused on health and patients or something like that. So anyway, that's the latest. Eden got to visit our location and Davey got to visit, but no trouble. So there you go.
Perfect. Wow, that's good. Very good to hear. And it's funny because throughout the 420 setup and everything, we work directly with police, fire, all of the city. So we know these guys personally now, and they're actually really nice guys. Especially the fire guys, those guys, and a lot of them are burners, man. Or at least they can't really tell you outright, but they're all like, they give you the eye roll and the nud and nudge.
Speaking of Davie Street, on Wednesday nights starting next week, Stoner Monkey Extractions is doing a dab night where if anybody comes in, we're giving out free dabs. Davie Street location carries our dabs on their menu. That way you can sample what we have. Come in, hang out, check out the lounge. It's a fun time. It's going to be awesome. And also with the vegan edibles, they do custom orders. They do catering. If you have a friend that's doing a birthday party and you want an awesome cake, give us a call. Find us on Instagram, Vegan Edibles Co., Stoner Monkey Extractions. Lots of exciting stuff.
Cool, man. Well, we'll definitely, I'm not sure if we're going to be carrying edibles at first in this dispensary or how that's going to work. We're going to be carrying probably oils and caps at first, but I hope eventually we can get to the point where we are carrying edibles, and it probably won't be very long. We might even have some, just as testers and stuff, and ones that we trust and things like that. So, oh, Jody's got a cool picture. Show that off downstairs. What's going up on the wall? This is downstairs. So we're going to try to take you guys downstairs to the bud room in a little bit here. It looks good, Jody, yeah. That's one of the big walls. Yep, and we do. We showed that one off a couple times. And, of course, the window will be done. So we're going to have that kind of swooshy stuff going across the top of the window with the big Cannabis Culture logo. It's going to be pretty slick. But yeah, it'll be cool. We'll definitely the vegan concept, I think, is one that you guys are really going to be successful with, because there's so many people who would like to be able to eat edibles that have issues with meat or whatever, right? So, and the same goes for gluten free and all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a lot of opportunities, I think, for something a little bit more healthy or a little bit more accessible to certain people. So good on you guys, and it looks great. The shirts look great and everything. Yeah. So, and sorry, there is a website, or it's just a Facebook page?
Just the Instagram, Vegan Edibles Co. or Stoner Monkey Extraction.
We also have our email set up if you ever want to get in touch with us. It's veganediblesco@gmail.com, and if you ever want to hit us up.
Excellent. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on. I really appreciate having you, for sure. Thank you very much. And, yeah, this is great, man. We have a bunch of these. Oh, okay, we're going to give some out. Now, we do have a bunch in my office as well, and maybe not today on the show, but next week on the show, we'll find a way of actually giving these out to people in the chat. Why don't we – hey, the first person in the chat to type vegan gets a couple of these things sent to them. So somebody in the chat type vegan, and my man Creed Taylor is on the phone here. Hi, Creed. How you doing? We're live on Pod TV. Here's Jody.
I'm going to do some filler. I'll sing a song for you all. No. I'm excited about the sign and the poster and the logos and everything going up. So it's pretty awesome. They're still scraping off frantically the last of the stickers. It appears that the heat gun is probably less efficient than this intense scraping work. Oh boy, it hurts the thumbs. It really does. I did do some. I probably got about 10 leaves and a branch off there.
They make a tool for that. They actually make a tool at the hardware store that you put a razor into the end of. It's very similar to the one that Ollie's got there. Well, it has a handle on it. The one you get at the it's called a scraper.
Oh my!
I've used them. We used to use them when we would do the detailing on cars, because car windows have this kind of stuff on them, and they have tint on them. And the scrapers are so good that they'll take the tint right off. But anyways, I guess I should have said that a couple hours ago. So
we like to see how hard they work here.
Exactly. Now, Alyssa, would you mind getting Freddie for me? I don't know where he is now. Is he still out there? Freddie. There we go. There's the man. The Weed King. So thanks, Jody. So the chatters have been asking about you, Freddie. Everybody's wondering where's the Weed King at? And so here he is.
Free the weed, man.
And Freddie, I haven't had you on the show for a little while.
It's been a while.
It has been. How you doing, man? You too, man. Always good to see you, man. So there's the microphone now. I actually I wanted to have you on the show as well, but I do actually have an interview from you that I took of you this morning.
Oh, okay.
That talks about a lot of what's going on. So maybe we'll play the interview, and then we'll talk about a little bit of the details.
Anything you want, buddy. If we're talking about cannabis, you're talking to the right guy, and we'll talk about cannabis.
Well, and before we actually get into the video, Freddie, you've been doing a lot of media work lately. You have your show. You've been doing stuff with Budzilla.
Yes.
I love your show, man. It's hilarious.
Thanks, man.
Always really funny. And he was dropping it's youtube.com/.
Well, my channel.
Yeah.
I'm Freddie Pritchard, the Weed King, and I'm the One Man Smoke Show.
Yeah, is it the One Man Smoke Show you do on your YouTube? Though?
Yeah, that's my personal channel, and then with Budzilla and Cannabis in Canada, we're making we're calling it the Smoke Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's pretty close to, I guess, the One Man Smoke Show, and.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where do you find that one on Cannabis in Canada?
I'm not 100% sure. Cannabis in Canada on YouTube. The videos are there. Come on by and subscribe and check them out.
Cool. I'll put it in the show notes, and we'll make sure to share it around. But yeah, Freddie, some of the stuff that there's some really interesting stuff that you guys have been working on right now. Now you're a guy who's been a big defender of dispensaries for a long time. I'll just say it to the microphone.
Sure.
You've been a big defender of dispensaries for a long time, and with the angle, I think, in a big way of you're anti-LP. I would say you're not a big fan of the licensed producers in Canada.
No.
Why is that, Freddie?
It's you got a little while to talk about that. Well, a lot of reasons. Like I started a dispensary in Windsor, Ontario in 2001, we were busted by the Windsor police, and I was selling for $5 a gram and growing out of my basement. Didn't have a dispensary, and I was operating as a delivery service. So even from that time till now, I've watched the industry change quite a bit. And the only legal route now for the sick and dying of this country is to go to a large producer. And we started hearing complaints from, I'm on a daily basis. I talk with patients across this country, and I started hearing things about, this tastes terrible, it burns bad, it's really expensive and stuff. And so we start investigating and looking at the menus at all these large producers, and we're seeing crap just on that alone. Like number one, you're forced as a patient in this country to go to one large producer. I now hear that they have changed that, and you can use 2 large producers. However, if there's approximately 30 menus out there from large producers, and if you go to every single one of them, they literally got one good hybrid or 2, one good sativa or 2, and one good indica, and then everything down there is garbage. A brown from Tweed they're selling had 8% THC, and Snoop Brown. Snoop's signed up with Tweed now. But we're finding, who's going to give anybody who's got a debilitating illness in this country or giving it to their sick and dying grandmother, who's going to give them a 6% THC? I don't even know why they sell that. Then there's the mills, the blends, and the house blends, which is just shake mixed up. I don't know why they're selling that either. So with that being said, we decided, okay, well, let's see if we can get some of that. And Budzilla has been really good working with patients across this country and giving them 2 for 1. 2 for 1 on cannabis. So we started trying it. Now, collecting the actual sealed samples.
Why don't we play the video of what I talked to you earlier about, because that gets right into what we're
Absolutely. Anything you want, buddy.
And then we'll come back and talk about the details.
Shout outs to the chat room.
The chatters love you. There we go. All right, I'm here with Freddie Pritchard. What's up, Freddie? You guys have some really great news about some stuff you've been looking into. It's great what you guys have done, but it's brutal news. It's what we've known all along, essentially. You guys just actually have the proof of it now.
Yeah, the LP cannabis doesn't stand up to the top quality cannabises now that are in our industry, and that's what we believe medical marijuana is. Yesterday, for instance, we had a Metrum joint, and we put it down on the table. We had 5 cameras running, and it was going out, and we watched it spark up and snake a line through the joint of a flame of a spark. And the taste of it was horrendously chemicals. All 3 of Metrums have failed on our taste test. The results.
So, Freddie, tell us about what you guys did. What is the whole thing?
Well, we've been. What started it off was patient complaints from all the different things that they have to suffer through the large producers. Either they got limited choices, they're only allowed to use one large supply, they don't like the quality, some of them taste bad. So we thought, well, geez, we got to look into this for patients all around. So we got a 2 for 1 deal going with Budzilla, where patients could bring in their cannabis and get 2 for 1. So we started collecting up on some of these samples. We've tested 21 samples now I have smoked of large producer cannabis, and I can tell you, standing here as a cannabis enthusiast, someone who loves top quality cannabis, and someone who's judged cannabis competitions, that not one of those 21 stand up to what we have now in our industry. Right. Because these dispensaries are getting shut down, and this is the last day, there's an entire city here that's going to be forced, like the rest of Canadians are forced right now, to use these less large producer cannabis. Right. We've also made a direct connection to Monsanto cannabis being sprayed on our cannabis. If you go to the Health Canada site, there's 7 approved sprays. One of them approved sprays is a Monsanto. We went to the Monsanto site, and it's listed right there, 99.6% unknown ingredients. Now it's approved for fruits and vegetables. So we made a direct connection that it's allowed to be approved on our cannabis right up until harvest time, as so says the Health Canada site, but it's also a spray that's meant for fruits and vegetables. It's 99.6% on ingredients. It's getting sprayed on our cannabis. Patients in this country are lighting it up with fire, and nobody knows, Jeremiah. Nobody knows what and that's scary for me.
Well, and they zap it with gamma radiation too.
Yeah, we found out that the radiation kills the weed. It makes it more of a dead weed. From some research I read on Google, from some research paper that they've tested, the resin heads actually evaporate. So, right. Yeah, so which would explain why they're void of a lot of flavor, aroma, terpenoids, and just general life of a flower. Right. We open up these jars. You open up a jar of Diggity Dank Rockstar Kush, you're you're going to get a pow in the face. It's just the way it is with fresh weeds. We open up all these jars, and it's just very, very light scent of nothing. You break up and roll a joint, you can't smell it. It's not up to what I think and what I've supplied to the sick. I don't think it's up to what it should be.
And so, Freddie, you guys actually had it tested for THC as well.
Yes.
And all of the strains that you guys had tested from all the LPs all came under what they were rated as.
Yes, we've got 21 strains, and I think 18 or 17 are going for testing. We've gotten out and we've released the five strain results. All 5 strains were way under their CBD content as labeled, or they were way under their THC levels.
Isn't that false advertising?
I believe that's false advertising and misleading patients, Jeremiah, because if I came to you just as a stoner and I said, hey, I got some 29% rock, I got some 20 or 32.7% Rockstar here from Tilray, and that's going to sell you as a patient. It's going to sell you as a stoner.
Sure.
You're going to be like, holy shit, I got to try that stuff. So you go and buy it, but then when the UBTC test results came back on that strain, it was 18. So that's a considerable difference.
Well, and if we're, once or twice, that's something. You're seeing it in all of the strains, that's something else.
Yeah.
And then you start to wonder about Health Canada themselves.
Yeah. We've seen some that were mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Down, and then the scale to just total terrible, just chemical taste. And a lot of the things the patients have been writing me and saying are all true. They want better choice, they want better quality. Some of them I feel really bad for because they're like, Freddie, can you point me to a large producer? I tried Broken Coast, Metrum, Tilray, and Tweed. It's like, and they still can't find a top quality cannabis to suit their illnesses.
Exactly.
And then we also determine you buy 10 grams, you get it, you don't like it, you're stuck with it.
Exactly. Yeah, if you see it and you don't like it, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work. This system is completely fraud from the front to the back. But what's really interesting, though, is this idea that they're advertising something that's not true. To me, that seems actionable in court.
Yeah, I believe I seen a commercial on TV the other day that told you could call a number if there was false advertising because false advertising is illegal in Canada.
It is.
Yeah, so there's an issue there.
Well, especially when it comes to a medical product.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that people are actually relying on for their medicine for health.
Yeah.
This is something that could have a serious effect on their life.
Yeah.
And the idea that these corporations are just playing fast and loose with the truth on it smells bad to me, man.
Absolutely, and really a big one too is, everybody knows in the cannabis industry and all the dispensaries, we all know that everybody's tried every single pharmaceutical known to man before they've decided to pick up a joint. And then finally somebody said, hey, have you tried marijuana? So they go to this marijuana and they're coming off big pharmaceuticals and they get something that's very bad. And guess what? It doesn't work for them.
Right.
That is the hardest thing for me to accept because now they go back to their doctor and the doctor says, guess what? Marijuana doesn't work for everybody. Here's your script again.
Exactly.
And I don't think cannabis got a fair shake. No. Cannabis didn't get a fair shake from the LPs because, you know what I mean?
You're absolutely right, Freddie. Hey, man, thanks a lot, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that,
TV.
brother. Yeah. Love you, man.
Yeah, brother.
They are. So Freddie just mentioned that about the Global Marijuana March. We every year on the first Saturday in May have the Global Marijuana March. This was started many years ago in the city of New York by Dana Beal, a hippie and marijuana activist there. And it kind of spread all around the globe. And at one time, I think there was like 300 cities around the world that were doing this in 80 countries. It was the big pot thing. So 420 in many ways has kind of eclipsed that, at least here in North America, I think. At least in Canada. We used to have a really big Global Marijuana March, and it's dwindled a bit in the city. Toronto had the biggest Global Marijuana March with tens of thousands of people marching through the streets. That one's diminished a little bit, too, because of some crap over the years.
Toronto's got some record big ones with probably 20,000 that I attended. We used to drive up from Windsor, Ontario every year. We've been. Jody led the last one here in Vancouver. Trying to get more people to come out to that one, though, Jer.
Yeah.
I noticed we were dwindling in numbers last year here in Vancouver.
It's hard to get people right after 420, I think, in a way, but we're going to start promoting it right away. I mean, it's happening now. It happens in a week or something, right?
It comes right on us.
But this one should be a little bit more easy to promote in some ways because it's not just going down to English Bay to hang out and talk on top of our trucks at the beach. This year, we're going to march from the Vancouver Art Gallery over the bridge and to City Hall. So I think this one might be a little bit more fun. We're getting right in the face of the city. We're going to try and block off traffic for as long as we can.
Well, that's my kind of protest.
Yeah, and usually the cops have been really cool with us. They come and ask us what the route is early in the morning. So it should be interesting to see their faces when I hand them the map and it's us going to City Hall instead. They might have some... who knows what they have to say about it? They can't really do anything about it. They've already told us they'll help and shut us down on all the roads and everything, so it should be fun.
Well, we're marching. We're marching either way, right? Exactly. I'll be there. Come on down. We'll dab and smoke and march and get our message out to the media.
Yeah. Awesome, Freddie. Well, I really appreciate
Well, I wanted to... Can I talk a little bit more about the LPs? Please. Just briefly.
Oh, yeah. Strains, too. You guys sampled 5.
No, we've actually sampled 21, but we have 5 results have been released for 5 of them. Others are now at accredited testers as we speak, getting tests. But the results for 5 of them, or 6 of them now, because we did the Snoop Brown as well. That was the only ones that we're sending in for testing are the sealed products, because the first 7 that we got to sample, they weren't sealed, so we wanted to be fair about this. So we're only sending in sealed products, but. We're waiting on some more testing to come back, but all of them failed. They're all falsely labeled, they're all false advertised, and they're all mislabeled, and they're misleading patients around this country. If I came to you, Jer, and said I had a 32.7 Rockstar Kush, and you're a stoner, what would you say? You'd want to try it, wouldn't you? Right. Yeah, well, that's what's touted on their website.
Test it and it's wrong.
Well, it come back 18. So it's like that one's a little out there, not even close. And then their CBD levels on their high CBD strains are not on. So it's false labeling and advertising. And again, that's one aspect of what we're looking at with large producer weed. The big one that we have is craft growers, the people who know how to grow cannabis. They don't spray on their cannabis in the flowering phase. And if you go to Health Canada's website, they say that all the large producers now, whether some do or some don't, we don't know. We have no trust in that. They're approved to spray 6 chemicals on their cannabis plants right on up until harvesting. Well, we researched that a little further, and they're listed on Health Canada's site, all of those pesticides and herbicides. One of them's called Activate SP, and it's a Monsanto product, folks. And if you go now to Activate on Monsanto's website, the ingredients for that product is listed right there, and it says, of course, now you've got to remember this is approved for fruits and vegetables, not for putting on cannabis and being burnt, but the ingredients of this product is 99.6% unknown. That's what's listed, and that is approved by our Health Canada to be put on our Health Canada product. And then yesterday when we sat and we put a joint down and we watched the spark fly up and smoke through, we test them and they taste like chemicals. We don't know what's on it. This is not medical grade cannabis, and I'm a firm speaker outer against the large producers for multiple reasons, because they've done nothing but hurting patients. I can't sit back as a Canadian who stands for cannabis and stands for patients and say, hey, I'm happy with what we've seen out of 21 samples. I wouldn't give them to my sick and dying mother. And I'm very, very scared when you've got something that could be on that plant that's sprayed, that's from Monsanto, number one. And number two, it's 99.6% unknown ingredients. That's scary, Jerry. Or Jared.
Well, I mean, it's scary enough just that Monsanto itself, even if they listed what's in the product, I wouldn't trust them. They're responsible for all kinds of horrible things that happen on this damn planet, and they've been repeatedly busted in lying and all kinds of other things to people. So, the fact that it's unknown, 90% unknown, wow, that's really scary.
Yeah, and we directly
that's really
made a
scary.
connection to that. Yeah, that's exactly, and you can follow the links. I wrote a story about it, Cannabis in Canada published, and you can follow the links, and basically takes you right through what we just explained to you, and that's true. That's scary. That is very scary. We want them to not be allowed to spray in the flowering phase. That's not an unreasonable request.
No, and just the fact that they have these products now. Health Canada is supposed to do some testing themselves. I mean, they're supposed to be in on what happens, or at least these companies are supposed to be reporting their testing results to Health Canada. So it seems crazy to me that so many of them, if you are finding that they're all like that, it starts to make you really wonder about Health Canada themselves and what's going on over there, not just at the corporations themselves.
Then there's the fact of the irradiated weed. Now, people are like, well, everything's got irradiation in it. What do I care and stuff? Well, No, and I'm not a scientist, but I did see some research on Google that said when it gets irradiated, it evaporates the resin heads. Now, after further looking at cannabis, when you open a jar of 10 grams of cannabis that's been sealed, it's going to hit you in the face with a pungent aroma, right? When you opened up all these jars, it was nothing. There was hardly any aroma. You could grind it up, all of them are bone dry, and you grind them up in your fingers, you couldn't even get stink fingers. You know what I mean? Like, no, and it's devoid of any real flavor, aroma, taste, and I think that the ones that irradiate, it's dead. Plus, they're all bounce buds as well. Now, that really hurts every single patient in the country who vapes. How many patients in the country vapes? Now they're vaping trichome stalks. They're not vaping trichome stalks and resin heads. So I'm speaking against that as well. I mean, we could go on, Jared.
Oh, no, it's not good pot. And actually, a while ago, Philippe Lucas, an activist, did some research into this whole gamma radiation issue when it was Prairie Plant Systems who were the ones responsible for doing that. The only licensed producer at the time that the government had actually issued a license to. When he came back with those results, it was kind of scary stuff too. That they found that they don't really know what the gamma radiation does to the pot. They don't know if it's safe or not. And yet the government says, okay, go ahead and do it anyways because it kills off the microbes. We think it's safe. They've never done any real testing on what effect that has on humans. So we're like the guinea pigs. And Canada is one of the only places that does this, and that's allowing this to happen. So really, we are the guinea pigs. Like in history, they don't do this, where you're smoking a product that's been gamma radiated. They don't do that. They do it with fruit and vegetables.
And that's the way they're treating cannabis, and I think it makes it a dead flower. It's apparent. We are, what we're doing, we're not trying to bash the LPs at all. We're exposing only the truth. We got nothing to lose or gain, but we put craft cannabis that we're used to in the industry now on the table too, and that's what we're comparing it to. You know what I mean? But when you say you don't know what gamma radiation does to you, that's the same way I feel about these sprays that have 99% unknown ingredients. That is like scary. Yeah, and here's something now, maybe a little on the conspiracy side, but if Canada was going to start to research on our cannabis right now and test on it, it would stand to reason that they would probably test on the LP cannabis. What if they test on LP cannabis that's been sprayed and they find all kinds of things wrong with cannabis and we move into an entire new wave of falsely based scientific evidence? I know. That's a little out there.
I think, but you kind of said this before. There, I think it was you that mentioned that when people for their first time, if they're a medical patient, they've heard about cannabis being a medicine that works for them, and they have a real serious ailment, and then they order some this marijuana from one of the LPs and they get it and it's not working for them and it gives them problems or they find something wrong with it and it has a negative effect on them, then that data gets collected and that person doesn't think cannabis works for them. It kind of ruined it for them.
That's right. And geez, that's a big one for us, Jer, is the patients that are trying to get off pharmaceuticals. They've tried every drug because the cannabis is illegal, so there ain't any cannabis, but they tried every drug going in the pharmaceutical until some old granny or one of their friends said, hey, have you tried cannabis? So then boom, they go trying cannabis. But if they tried what we've been trying in these jars, it wouldn't work for me. So I'm like, how's it going to work for people with terminal illnesses trying to get off these big pharmaceuticals? It's not. So they'll go back to the doctor. The doctor will say, you know what, maybe cannabis, maybe it just doesn't work for you, and they'll give them back onto a prescription. And in my eyes as a cannabis activist, that is total bullshit because they didn't give cannabis a fair shake. They didn't give a real cannabis a chance.
Exactly. It's this Franken cannabis or whatever it is.
Yeah.
No, and that's not a good representation of us.
We've got some too, so we'll come down another time, Jared. We'll bring some for you to smoke.
Yeah, bring some on the show. I'd love to show it off and really see. No, we've done a little bit of this on the show before where we've had some, like I think we had Metrum. We had a couple others that we looked at, tested a little bit. But yeah, they were shit. Yeah, and they don't burn very well, and they make your lips all numb and stuff.
Some of them were horrendous like that. And I will say Metrum really felt bad. Some were mediocre. With no real flavor and taste, mediocre. And that's, to me, not medical cannabis. And the few choices, the limited choices, the high prices. Why do they charge the sick and dying of this country $5 a gram for crap, maybe a 6% THC, but they want for their 27% THC, which is really 20% THC, they want $12.50 or $15 a gram. And then why, when I buy a quarter pound, which is 112 grams, they're going to charge them $10 a gram straight up on a $10 one? That's $1,200. So it's it's like $1,100, $1,200. We get a deal on the street? I know it's all scam. We don't agree.
Higher than prohibition prices themselves, higher than street prices.
Yeah, so it's bottom line, I'm pretty anti-LP for all those reasons, because I think they're fucking all of the sick and dying in this country, and they're profiting. And then being a cannabis activist, one of our biggest enemies, Jer, has been Big Pharma. And when you take all the foreign investors, the stockbrokers, and all that people involved that are in this, it is Big Pharma. And this is Big Pharma stealing our cannabis.
Well, it's the same people and the same establishment that's always been against it, and now they're taking it over, and they're doing it with this angle of it's Bill Blair and his addiction specialists and all these people.
Oh, Bill Blair, he's the wrong guy to be doing this job, And
like Kerry Jang here in the city, he's responsible for this, and he's a doctor and he's an addictions guy.
Yeah, and I can be honest, from my own experiences and through my own life, I've substituted alcohol and hard narcotics for cannabis. And I've been able to keep a healthy diet and a good regime of being on cannabis and staying off of alcohol and staying away from narcotics. So I've substituted, and I've lived a healthier life for it. And I've always had a big problem with the anti-addiction people who throw cannabis into that mix, when cannabis has been a medicine to a lot of people trying to get off addiction. Yeah.
Well, Freddie, I really appreciate all the hard work you're doing, man. Great activist. You've got to watch this guy's show, the new show coming up. It's at cannabisincanada.ca.
Yep. Cannabis in Canada. It's the smoke show. It just got released yesterday, the first episode. Nice. There's plenty of episodes that have been shot. We're actually using 2 testers now, from what I understand. So our credibility will be a little more quite on point, rather. But we want them labeling their products right. We want their prices down. We want their quality up. We want no sprays in. We want a lot. We could go on and on, Jer.
Well, and it's all fair. I mean, it's all stuff that you should want, and that is just like any other industry. It has to be safe for people. It's not it's not too much to ask.
No, it isn't. It's not. What we're asking isn't unreasonable. When in this, we already have a whole team of growers out there. We've got dispensary owners. We've got medical makers. We've got concentrate makers. Which I might add, the large producers do not carry medibles, concentrates of any kind. They've got a new oil that we've testing. We've just picked up from one of the oils, and they're a liquid form. It's like real liquidy stuff. You can't smoke it. You got to ingest it, but. We've got an entire industry now that's set a staple. I can't sell you bunk weed. You wouldn't smoke it, and so we want what we have now, created by the people that love the plants that grow them, and the people that care about cannabis and really care about what kind of a strain they're growing. We want those kind of cannabises in the jars. And I don't think that that's too much to ask for.
Not at all.
Here's something, just quickly for a minute, if I might add. What about if, we all know that the large producers have been vying for the legalization market. They want to have a strict regulated control, and they've talked about the medical marijuana being in the pharmacies and possible our legal marijuana being in the liquor stores. Well, I don't know how they're going to put any of these 21 strains on the shelf, Jer, and that our BC people who know cannabis are going to go in there and take it. Because if anybody went in there and grabbed some of the ones we tried and brought them home with a 6-pack, they're going to be sorely disappointed.
And that's the thing that these government officials don't understand about pot, that if they put the shit out there, nobody's going to buy it. We're smarter than that,
Yeah, so we come to the conclusion that the LPs will actually be fueling the black market.
Oh, for sure they will. Oh, no, that's just the way it is, undoubtedly. And it's what's funny, if they really do try and ban them all, it's not going to go anywhere. We just go back to the black market until we can do this again,
Oh, yeah, bottom line, Jerry, you, me, growers, the concentrate makers, you guys keep doing what you're doing. They're not going nowhere because somebody says, hey, you can't do that.
Right. It's been 90 years of the threat of arrest. Yeah. And, if they're just giving out fines now, we're not going away.
No, we're not.
And even if the threat still is arrest, we're not going away anyway. So
my dream, though, was a free and fair market so that everybody who is all these makers and growers could all of a sudden start filing their income tax at the end of the year, could start going to sleep a little bit better at night, stop wasting the taxpayers' dollars, clogging the courts, wasting the police resources. That's why this movement started, and all this bullshit regulation and stuff that I see coming is just going to fuel all that.
Threatening people with arrest is wrong, especially when they're medical patients. They already have so many stresses involved with the ailments that they have. You don't need the added stress of being afraid of going to prison for your medicine.
No, and the dispensary rules to shut them down here today, is just ridiculous, because that takes away a way better choice that patients have than being now you're forcing them to go to the large producers. And
no, it's holding a gun to their head and saying, you have to smoke this bad weed.
Yeah. And then, of course, you've got you go in, you see a bud tender, you tell him your ailments, and he can say, we've had other people in here who have the same ailments, and they've been liking this Bubba Kush, and they've been liking this Pink Kush. Have a smell. Take a look, and maybe get a deal on a quarter sack.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. We're not getting that from large producers.
No. The people who actually know the product, and see it every day and see it used and have that feedback come back from people. These licensed producers don't get any of that stuff.
No, you basically order it from a description and a picture, and you get it in the mail. And we also have Harry Warburton, who's a MMAR patient and licensee, who's been filming with us as well. And so we've got a medical patient at the table too. And that's what he said yesterday. The day before, he was like, I got to buy this 10 grams, and I can't even smoke a half a joint of it. Now I'm stuck with it. So it's like, you're basically, you got to buy 10 grams of garbage. You get 10 grams of garbage, you're stuck with 10 grams of garbage. So they're wrong on a lot of reasons, eh?
Well, Freddie, I really appreciate it, man.
You too,
Good on
Good
you,
to
brother,
see you
for
and
sure.
all
Good to have you on the
chatters
show.
out there.
Yeah.
Chili Boo, what's going on?
We'll bring you back real
Valley
soon.
Boy, everybody's in here, man. Ben smokes. That's
Yep.
my wife.
Oh, nice. Oh, there you go. Good to see you guys.
Everybody. Thanks a lot for having me come out here, too.
For sure, Freddie. Thanks a lot.
My message out.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man. We'll
Freddie.
have you back soon for sure.
Yep.
Come on back. Come on down to the new studio.
Yeah.
Hang out for sure.
Work something out.
Absolutely. Now, Courtney Pie is in the lounge here. I call it a lounge, but this is our new Cannabis Culture dispensary location, 512 Beatty Street. Everything you need and the weed.
Cannabis Culture Beatty.
Cannabis Culture Beatty. Beatty. It's just down the street from the Stadium Chinatown SkyTrain station. So if you get off at Stadium, you walk down the street. We're right there, right next to the Sun Tower, the old Vancouver Sun Tower. It used to be the tallest building in the... Actually, we're right next to both of the tallest buildings in the British Empire when they were built. We're right next to the Dominion Building on Hastings and the Sun Tower here in Beatty. Courtney, come on over here with all your stuff. Now, it's extremely bright over here because the sun is shining right through the window onto the couch. But Courtney, yeah, that's a cool idea. I don't think it's gonna change much unless we scoot down a little bit. But yeah, it looks cool. It is warm, isn't it, in the sun? Hi, Courtney. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm excellent.
Yeah. Why don't we? No, we both have to move this way. Is what we have to do. Here, if you yeah. Here. There you go. We can do that.
Yeah, perfect.
There. Now you're out of the. Here, I can sit over here. Yeah, you are tall. There we go. So, Courtney, show off what you got. Tell us all about it first of all.
Yeah.
And then show it off.
Okay. So I have been creating lately something that I'm calling 420 petals. They're beautifully handcrafted strains of our favorite flower, crafted into timeless petals that you can wear around your neck. I'm making necklaces, bracelets, rings, all kind of fun things, earrings. Basically, I'm wanting people to wear them with pride and show other people that cannabis is not scary and it's not harmful or dangerous. It's a beautiful flower and we should be wearing it with pride and being happy about it. And it's a good conversation starter too, because people often will say, oh my God, that's a beautiful stone. What is that? Is it petrified wood? And I say, no, it's marijuana. And if you say it with such a big smile and so happy, then they just immediately get intrigued.
Tell people how you do this.
Well, it's it's actually chips that were made into rosin, because I was feeling like it's kind of a waste. When I know a lot of people that make rosin and the chips. They press the buds down. If you don't know how rosin is made, they press the buds down with a hair straightener or t-shirt press between parchment paper, and then you can get a very pure form of shatter, I guess, or rosin it's called. But with those little buds, I've been making some beautiful treasures, and it's pretty fun. People have been liking them quite a bit.
Weedified jewelry.
Weedified jewelry.
So, where do people see them?
Well, I have an Instagram. It's 420 petals, Petals. Write that in the chat. And yeah, basically you can come to Cannabis Culture on Davie Street. I manage the store there, and I am going to be selling them in the store there to help bring some business by as well.
These are great.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I have this bracelet on as well, which is awesome. I don't know if you can.
Very cool. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, if you
Need a
can
watch.
see. Yeah, totally. If anyone's a watchmaker out there and wants to do a collaboration, I'm highly looking for one.
It's very marijuana. You can tell that.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that it's made of cannabis.
There's some really cool ones.
Great work.
Yeah, I'm really loving this bottle cap series because they're so contained.
I like this one.
What do I see on here?
So you can. Some of them have like lockets.
Yeah, I've been making a couple lockets. This one's nice, like a little weed garden, weed farm. And in all of them, there's all kinds of crystals. I love citrine, good stone for manifestation and helping you radiate sunshine. So I've been including that in there.
Very creative.
This little buddy is probably one of my favorites.
I made a mess.
Because it goes with the joke that he's just a hoot. This one's going to my friend Sam, who teaches the Ganja yoga class. Oh.
Really cool.
Just a hoot.
Beautiful. The little stones and stuff that you put in them. It's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a fun
Where's your
project. My Instagram is 420petals, and it is on Instagram. Definitely. Yeah, little octopus buddy. The back of that one is incredible. I'm going to probably be selling them all for $20 just to keep it kind of fair based on the time and the materials. Yeah, well, I feel like $20 is a good number. 20 is a good number. And I just want people to have them and wear them happily and start talking about cannabis more. Because being able to wear it as an accessory and just constantly having people ask you what it is. This is another one around my neck. People have been loving this one. Lots of cedar in there too. But they're just pretty fun. We can definitely give one away on the show, for sure.
First person to type in the name of the product. Tell them that.
Okay, first person to type in the name of the product. I did type it earlier. But first person to type it gets one for free.
Yeah, and we'll get their info and everything.
Yeah. Someone tell me what the name is.
There's a latency. It takes a bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
It'll take a few. So
Awesome.
We'll get to that in a second. It could take up to like 30 seconds. So.
Up to 30 seconds.
Yeah, we will see.
Someone has already won. We will find out who very soon.
I love these. Cool, Courtney. Well, that's really awesome. And you can find them at the Davie Street location.
Yeah, at the Davie Street Cannabis Culture. I'll probably put them in the Hastings one too eventually. I have a whole ton. I'm just finishing them all up right now.
Cool.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Doing a mushroom sequence, and that's an abalone shell on there. So it gives it a kind of rainbow hue.
Tracy Cake's the winner.
Nice. Awesome. Tracy Cake, you get a free 420 petal for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a whole bunch of mushrooms, bottle caps, all kinds of fun things. If you have any requests, feel free to send it to my Instagram, 420 petals, or please just come by Davie Street Cannabis Culture if you haven't been there yet. It's absolutely amazing. We're right by the beach. The lounge managers are phenomenal. I'm managing the store. Every employee is just beaming with sunshine all the time. It's totally amazing. So come on by. 1674 Davie Street between Cardero and Bidwell. Yeah.
Thanks, Courtney Pie.
Thank you.
Awesome. Very cool stuff. 420 Petals on Instagram. Instagram.com/420 Petals. There's a whole bunch of them here. Let's get a little shot of them on the couch here. Oh, yes. There's lots to choose from. And do you have all of them up on your Instagram or just some of them? Just some of them. But eventually, yes. So now we're just about wrapping the show up here. We've done. Oh, sorry about that. We've got a lot. We've got a lot already on the show. Done everything we wanted to do. Now I want to go downstairs and show you the rest of the place. Actually, show off some of the bud zone down there where we're actually slanging. So Alyssa and I are going to attempt this. I'm going to put this in my pocket. And we should probably unplug that one. I'm going to try and take the laptop. Alyssa's going to try and take the camera, and we'll see how far we can go. Yeah, we have it. Maybe you should ask if anybody doesn't want to be on camera. Oh, Mr. Expert, that's okay. Did you want to just go down there and ask if anybody is anybody down there purchasing, and if they mind on being on camera if they are? Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So here is the cam, and we're going to go down there. Whoa. Now, we're just loading up on strains. We don't have, obviously, a gigantic setup. We've just started here, so we're just getting some really good stuff in, working on dealing with our grower friends. You might possibly? Yeah. So we do have the cord attached. Hopefully this works. Oh, looks good. Okay, so down the curly Q staircase here. Here, maybe, yeah, exactly. Alyssa can show it off there. Hopefully we don't trip or fall. This is a hilarious way to do it, but here we go. Oh, look at that on the wall there. Beautiful. How you doing, man? Here, let me take this. We'll show this off. So we got the big Cannabis Culture logo. Oh, Alyssa's getting strangled by the cord. Wow. And the decal's not even fully on the wall yet, but yeah. And what's up, man? How you doing? Tell people who you are and what you do here.
My name's Tyler. I'm a bud tender.
Yeah.
There are beautiful brand new strains in the system right now, so when you come in, you'll be seeing all of it on our shelves. So.
Awesome, man. Yeah, come on down. Now, we just got a bunch of really good stuff in. We got some Temple of Calyx. We got a bunch of other stuff. We're going to have a lot of supply of some of your favorite growers down here. And we're just getting all the branding and stuff worked out. But eventually we'll have some of our favorite strains and things. We did take over for the Healing Tree, so we still have some of their supply and stuff that's left. But, you know, we will be open. What are our hours? Like 8 to, or I mean, what is it? What's our hours?
11 to 8 weekdays, 11 to 6 weekends. But
beautiful.
Sunshine stays out.
Cool. Nice. Dope, man. Yeah, this guy's good. We got to get him a show. Well, we will be broadcasting from this location and others live as much as we can. But yeah, here we're just going to show off what else we got here. It's kind of like there's not a heck of a lot in here at the moment, but soon we'll have a concentrates fridge, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the whole deal, guys. Maybe we should just go back upstairs and say bye to Jody and everybody. But yeah, we got the curly Q staircase. Thanks a lot, man. That was dope. Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. So this is it, guys, the new spot. And there's a lot of fight going on here in the city of Vancouver right now. And we appreciate you guys watching and tuning in. We're wrapping up. Just about to go to the chat. Well, we hope that you guys stop by our new location here, 512 BD Street, and just down from the Stadium SkyTrain station. Support our activist business. When you spend money with us, you know that it's going back into good things. It's going back into fighting the good fight and making sure that this system we're setting up stays and lasts, and that they can't take it away from us. Because, I mean, now we've worked so hard on all this for so long. Now's the time that they're really coming down, and they're going to try and take it away, and we have to fight now more than ever. So.
And I also want to let everybody know that, you know, if you're a Canadian, you can prepare for the Summer of Legalization Part 2, where Mark started in 2003. You can go look it up if you don't know anything about it. But Mark and I are going to embark on a cross-Canada tour in August and September, so we can meet Canadians who he hasn't seen yet since he got home, and so we can meet all the dispensary owners who are opening up in small towns and cities all across Canada, and so we can hold information sessions telling people the truth about marijuana, since we know that the addictions and mental health groups are holding their own information sessions, and that's a whole lot of BS. So our activist-owned business organization hopes to have your support in getting across Canada, but I'd really like to see the idea of having newspaper ads in every newspaper across the country announcing this tour and announcing the fact that it should be legal. We should treat it like it's legal. You should join the Overgrow Canada campaign and plant seeds like it's legal, because we've always just made progress by demonstrating what we want to see and what we believe we should be free to do. So it's not going to change.
Awesome, Jody. Thank you so much for coming down here and doing this. And Jody, I really just think that you have been doing such an amazing job lately in the media. You got to check out Jody's Twitter feed. No. You're like taking them head on, and they can't argue with you. You're really like eating them alive, honestly, because they try to, and then they just they just basically like stop arguing with you because you totally destroy them. So, and you do it in a way that's right to the point. It's just perfect. So you got to check out Jody's Twitter feed.
Stuff, yeah.
And Jody's going to be writing a lot more and doing blogging and stuff on Cannabis Culture. Lots. There's just endless things for us to do, guys. We appreciate you being here so much. Thanks for everybody. Thanks to everybody for tuning in today. We still have 110 watching right now. Love you guys lots. We'll be back again next Friday. But, I mean, watch Pot TV and Cannabis Culture over this week for lots of news on what's happening here in the city. If anything happens, real quick, we'll let you know. If any of the dispensaries in town get raided or any of that stuff's going on, check out Cannabis Culture, Pod TV, and all of our social media feeds, and you'll find out about it. Peace, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you, Pod TV. See you soon. Oh, yeah, Alyssa can shut us down. 512 Beatty Street. 512 Beatty Street, Cannabis